What up, though? What up? What up? What up? Family, what's going on? Why? Like, I don't get it. Why is that on there? I don't know. That's how you know I ain't never did this. Okay, there we go. All right. We gonna start this thing. We had technical difficulties. You're supposed to keep it playing. Thank you so much, my brother. Shout out to my music guy. We got the band in here. It's the first episode of the Bad Dad Podcast. I'm your host, Julian Russell, better known as the Mayor. And this is for the bad dads. I want to say that I'm a bad dad, not a horrible dad. But, I want to be a better dad. I want to be a better father. I want to be a better son. I want to be a better friend, brother, nephew, godfather, person. You know what I mean? So the Bad Dad Podcast initiative is to make us men become better fathers, make us hold ourselves accountable, be more responsible as men. Our kids have been failed, you know what I mean? Like, when I grew up, a lot of people had dads, but it was more people that didn't, And now that you look at it, it's way more people that don't have dads. So what we want to do, we want to bridge the gap. I know baby mothers and baby fathers beef because I'm a baby father that used to beef with my baby moms, but it's over, man. It's a new day, man. We need our kids to learn that we are there for them, and we love them. I lost both my mom and my father, so I just want to be the best father that I could be. And I hope that this podcast, piques your interest and gives you knowledge, gives me knowledge. I'm going to have special guests. Tonight I got Omega Psi Phi's, Tony Shep. I got Chef Nell, the Mario Wells in the building. Both fathers, both great men. And yeah, we're going to start this, man. My song is Papa Was a Rolling Stone, And if you know the song, you know. So we're going to get this thing started, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How y'all feeling tonight?
Feel all right.
I'm good.
All right. So, again, we have special guests. We got Omega Psi Phi's own Tony Shep. Say what's up, Chef.
What's up? What's up? How's everybody doing?
And we got my main man, Chef Nell, in the building. More like my brother. Say what's up to the people.
What's up, people?
All right. So these two black men are both fathers. Both men are excellence, man. Nell got a baby on the way right now. New baby, congratulations.
Thank you.
Shep, you got 3 kids.
2 boys and a girl. Daughter
Yes, sir.
17, 12, and 11.
Yes, sir. How many kids you got in total now?
With the one on the way to be 8.
Yep, Kobe.
From
It's all
20
good.
all the way down to 4.
From 20 all the way down to 4, and then he just had one more in store. It's all good. That's a blessing, man. So, me, myself, man, I actually came up with this idea for the Bad Dad Podcast because it's a void in our community. I would just start there. In our community, meaning our community, the black community, where fathers and mothers don't get along, so it affects the child. Me, myself, like when I was growing up, rest in peace, my mother and my father, I woke up every day to my mom and my dad, and it was a great thing, and then like I would go down the street to my buddy Mel house. He had his mom and his dad. He had his sisters and his brothers. I was the only child. So, like my parents was my dogs. They was everything. It was the first people I saw, you know what I mean? Like my first people to really talk to before I go outside and hang with the guys, and play football, I did whatever. But my parents played a major role in my life. My mom, she was on me. If you know science, she was stern. She wasn't going for it. Street lights came on. She was screaming my name. You could hear my name all the way from Northumberland to Delavan and Grider. If you know, you know. But, like, she just wasn't, like, your typical mom. She was tough. She had a past, before she even had me where she was tough. And my upbringing, people would tell me how tough my mom was and how good of a person my mom was. So my mom had gave me tough love. But it was love nonetheless. Now we're here in a generation where, as opposed to like showing love, these kids are like friends with their parents. You know what I mean? And like, don't get me wrong. Like, me and my mom was tight. My mom birthday November 5th, rest her soul. My birthday November 6th. We was tight, thick as thieves. But my mom wasn't my friend. You know what I mean? Like, I have an 18-year-old, and she's a young adult now. She's graduated high school. I'm proud of her for that. She's working. And she's growing, but losing my mom, I saw how that had an effect on her. You know what I mean? Like, my mom was stern. So if my mom was stern with me, she was stern with her. You know what I mean? Just not as stern. Grandma's always cut a little slack on the grandkids. But she used to go to church a lot. You know what I mean? She used to be involved in certain activities, and once my mom passed, rest her soul, it was kind of like a little pushback, you know what I mean? Hey, kid, come on, let's go to church. Oh, I don't feel good. I was a kid, I kind of was forced to go to church growing up, you know what I mean? So I get it, but at the end of the day, they say, like, church is where it starts, you know what I mean? Like, and a lot of kids these days who are doing things that parents don't approve of, they don't go to church. They don't have no repercussions. They don't get their ass whooped. They don't, like they might be failing and still get a PS5 for Christmas. You got a 50 on your report card, but you still got a PS5 for Christmas. You know what I mean? So like, when my mom died, my daughter almost got like a get out of jail free card. I think it felt like, and she used it to her advantage. You know what I mean? Like, she's 18 now, so I could talk about it. And my mom been dead for 7 years now, going on 7 years. So, like, parents play a part in that. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to be, even though I wanted to be, like, I didn't want to be the dad. Like, you know what? I'm making you go to church. I would call over there, talk to her mom. Hey, is my daughter going to church? Oh, she don't feel good. To, oh, she gone. To, oh, she said she don't want to go. Now, I don't want to be the bad dad and like, oh no, you need to go. You gotta go. You know what I mean? Because a lot of pushback and resilience come from like you having to do stuff you don't want to do. You know what I mean? But when I was growing up, I had to do stuff I didn't want to do.
You had structure.
That was a part of being a kid.
You had structure, and what I'm hearing is you had structure and you had respect, and you had boundaries. And your mother and your father instilled that in you at an early age, for lack of better words.
I mean, not necessarily because I was still a bad little kid, but I did what I was told. You know what I mean? Like, I would, like, when you talking back when we was growing up, you talked under your breath. You know what I mean?
But that structure, you knew to do that.
Right. And that's what I was about to say.
You knew what to do, you knew what not to do, and when to do it.
You listening and doing what you told is structure. You know what I'm saying? Our kids or the kids out here that they may do it, but it's and you know what I'm
It's
saying?
blatant.
They go and that's disrespectful. So that means the respect that we have for our parents is not the same that our kids have for us, or
But I ain't even gonna like I can't even act like, well, I can't even say like it was necessarily respect. I was shook.
Respect.
I was shook, bro. Like, I was scared that, like, my mom, dog, I have a mark over my eye to this day because my mom bust me in the head with a freaking piggy bank, a glass piggy bank. I was 26.
I remember that.
I was 26 years old. Like, a parent don't stop being a parent. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost to the point to where they stop being a parent maybe like 10 years old. Once you hit double digits, like, that's my buddy. That's my gang member.
But like you said, when you grow up, you know what I'm saying, and you was being forced to go to church, your mother and your father was in the home, which means that they was on the same accord. They was one unit. This is what you're gonna do, regardless what you know what I'm saying, regardless of what you want to do, or even if they don't agree on it, they're gonna come to you as a united front. Like
I didn't even go to
you
church with my parents. I went with my grandma.
I know.
You know what I mean? So, like,
I'm getting there. But like you said, you calling the mom, and the mom, y'all not on the united front. Y'all not saying the same thing. Like you calling her, and she making excuses for her, opposed to saying get up and go to church because that's what you're supposed to do.
right.
You know what I'm saying? And I was the same way. I was forced to go to church by my grandmother. You know what I'm saying? We went to church, where I stayed at. Our church is right on the corner.
Right.
We walk into church.
Right.
No matter if you want to get up and go or not, crying and everything, you going to church.
You had structure, and you knew what was going on. Also, you said it was your grandmother, so you had the structure. You had the grandmother, the mother, then it was you, then it was the daughter.
Yeah, the
so
great
nowadays, you
grandmother.
don't have Big Mama. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of times, people will say, well, what happened to the family? Big Mama was praying for her nephews, her grandkids, her grandkids, her sons, and all that other stuff. So we don't really move all that forward. You know what I'm saying? Even with my mom passing in 2019, it was a shift because now everything's on me. Let me check on this. Let me do this, and you don't really know what it takes to produce until you into that role. You really don't know what to produce until you in that role. So a lot of times, all that stuff is not really passed down because they grandmothers at 32,
Nah, for real.
grandmothers at 35.
For real.
So it's easier to go to the club and we gonna do the TikToks and we gonna do all the other stuff. So it becomes, so I respectfully challenge you to find what it is that you need to do because I battle with the same thing with my kids. My kids grew up in the church, but now as they grow up, I can't get my boys to go. My daughter, she's older, she's independent now. She's like, so also you gotta understand, the generation come up, they really don't have a belief system. Because think about it, they go for everything. Back in the day, it was cool. You didn't want to be the person on drugs. Mm-hmm. The hustler, you was on the block, right? Now what? Molly Percocet. Molly and they got so
leaning in. Yeah.
So it's a different rules of engagement. And so if you got Big Mom or if you got somebody in there, that's what it is. It's a blessing, but the game has totally changed, and then the dynamics of the family has changed. Okay? Money's changed, and I don't know what they call it because that's not my field, but, the dynamics of the black family has totally changed too.
Right.
In the roles and this and that. So, it's just, it is what it
Genders
is.
and
The
everything.
roles, yeah, definitely, for sure.
All right, I'm sorry, y'all. We just jumped ahead. We just jumped the gun. This is our first episode, so we just letting y'all know what to expect, what we know, what we learned, what we want to learn. Tony Shep, Omega Sci-Fi. Let them know who you are, what you do.
Anthony Shepard, also known as Tony Shep, member of Omega Sci-Fi Fraternity Phi Omega chapter, located in the city of Buffalo. I am the Fatherhood and Mentoring Chair for the chapter, and I am the Social Action Chair. Social Action, give uplift to the community. Fatherhood and Mentoring, do stuff, fatherhood programs. Work resource coordinator, kind of like an EAP, Employee Assistance Program. I work for United Way of Buffalo and Erie County, non-for-profit. They put community and resources together to try to create change. They fund different projects, things like that. They're right there on Delaware. But I've been in the non-for-profit sector for a while. But like I said, I want to thank you for actually doing this. Fatherhood, mentoring is something close to me. Non-custodial parent, meaning I don't stay with my kids.
Right.
So custodial parent, non-custodial, so that's the difference right there. So when you're talking about being on the same page, same accord, I miss waking up. You might live with your kids. You might see your kids in the morning. Mm-hmm. I got to call my kids on the phone. You know what I'm trying to say? Mm-hmm. Or this the rules is, but I had to get to that point. You know what I'm trying to say? So that's just me in a nutshell. I'm real big on fathers' rights, so I just want to say kudos to you for doing this, and thanks for having me on.
Thank you for coming, man. And when you reached out and said, you know what, I want to be on, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna bring you on first episode, man. You're a father, man. You've been mentoring. You Omega Sci-Fi. Shout out to the bros. Woo woo. You know
Hey, you about to get me in trouble, man.
I can't do that.
Can't do that.
I love the barking out.
Yeah.
I'm a dog. But listen, shout out to the bros, man. I got an uncle, a couple uncles that's bros, and they do great things in the community and all over, man. And I was honored when you wanted to come on, because I said, let me see what Brother Shep want to talk about, man. And yeah, non-custodial parents, man. Myself, I'm a non-custodial parent, and I got kids out of state, and that wasn't the goal. That wasn't what I wanted, That wasn't what I grew up in. You know what I mean? When I have the song, come on in the beginning of the podcast, Papa was a Rolling Stone, it's because I'm like a Rolling Stone now. You know what I mean? I I gotta go from state to state and city to city to see my kids, you know what I mean? Or have to pay for multiple flights and everything to bring everyone together when I grew up in a house with my parents, you know what I mean? And like, that made me who I am today, as opposed to a person who didn't grow up with their parent or you know their mom or their dad or both. You know what I mean? And I got great friends that are entrepreneurs, doctors, lawyers, police officers, anything you could think of that came from a single mom home. You know what I mean? That didn't have two custodial parents. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying that coming from a non-custodial home is making you a bad parent. I'm the bad dad of the podcast. I'm not saying you're a bad dad, but if you want to become a better dad, this is the podcast for you. This is what it's all about. Share it to your friends. Let them know what's going on. You know what I mean? So, Brother Nell, tell them about you, man.
Darnell Wells, better known as Nell. I'm a father of 7 with 1 on the way, so about to be 8. I'm also a father of kids out of town. My oldest is 20. He's in college in Baltimore. My second, third, and fourth oldest is in Atlanta. And then the babies is here with me. So I got both dynamics as far as I live with some of my kids and some of my kids is out of town. I've been co-parenting out of town for about 12 years now. I'm so glad that you allowed me to come on today, especially knowing what he got going on, because I need to talk to this man.
And see, that's what it's about. Like, that's what it's about. Like, us men coming together and like, yo, bro, what can we do to become better fathers? Man, shit, we gonna throw a Bad Dad podcast brunch. And we all gonna come together. We gonna bring our kids, and you know what I'm like.
You know the funny
that's
thing
what it's
is,
about.
Go ahead, my bad.
No, y'all good. But I've been wanting to do stuff like this for years. You know what I'm saying? You know, me and you didn't talked about it. Just helping young men, young fathers, you know what I'm saying, that have children or are of age to have children and just want to guide them the right way. You know what I'm saying? Show them how to be a father, because like you said, a lot of them not fathers. A lot of them don't have men in the house and they don't know what to do. They just get out here and they living. They watching what the people on the what's the music, the drill people. They out here, they want to do that, you know, and then they want to do what they see, maybe that their fathers did or their uncles, so they abandoning their kids and they don't have nothing going on for themselves. They just running around doing whatever. So, like I said, I appreciate you bringing me on and let me say what I gotta say, because I definitely want to reach out to the youth.
Can I give both of y'all some pushback on both of y'all? Y'all great dads. You're great fathers. Think about it, right? You just said you got to fly around the world, right? You got to connect flights, right? But guess what? Do your kids know each other? Do they know their dad, right? You have to produce. It sucks to go up and down you and your kids' life, right?
That's right.
Your kids know who you are. So that's what I'm saying. So I think what I had to learn was everybody's definition of a great father is different. You know what I'm saying? And what worked for me ain't work for you. And
not to cut you off, everybody's definition of a bad father is different too.
And
so that's why, like, I point the finger. I'm the bad dad, because I remember years ago being blasted on Facebook. You know what I mean, for making sure my kid ain't like everybody else.
But that's them.
You know what I mean? So it's like, damn, like, oh, he
they
a
can
bad
hate
dad.
you they gonna hate you for a million reasons. Okay? So if anything, they mad that you stepping up for your kids and they chose wrong. And that person ain't stepping up for their kids. You know?
And to piggyback off of what you saying as far as Facebook, if you're getting blasted on Facebook about your parenting, that's wrong, first of all, because there's no reason that you and your child's mother should be going at it or have anything to say bad about each other
in the public
on Facebook. Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
And to go back to what you were saying, I know I'm a great father, but I could be better. There's a lot that I could be doing better.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Like it's a lot. Like I do. You know how I go about my kids. My kids they come first.
Gotcha.
But there's things that you know what I'm saying, I put myself first too.
I got
You
you.
know what I'm saying? And sometimes that you know what I mean, it's like, okay, well, I can send him this money for his car, or I can buy me a new TV.
Right, I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
You gotta find balance.
Right, exactly.
You gotta find balance, and you know, it's just crazy because, like I said, I remember my mother telling me all the time I was very hard on myself, and I would feel like I'm a bad dad, right? But she says you're nothing like your dad. She said if anything, you learn what not to do to make sure that your kids know each other. Real story. My sister worked at my school, and I did not know that was my sister. The only reason why I knew she was my sister, so if God wants you to know something, it's going to come out. She did a play. My father walked in at the same time she walked in and I walked in. She said, "Hey, Daddy." Right.
You looked around and said, wait.
Who is you talking
Said,
to?
who this for?
Right. I remember like it was yesterday. We had turned the carol.
Dang.
And come to find out, my other sister worked there too, but I didn't know. But he knew.
He ain't even tell you.
Ain't tell me. But, though, that's what it is. So, like my mother would say, you're a much better father. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to be hard on ourselves. And also, we talk about the kids we got. Historically, like somebody said, we was bred to have multiple kids so they can be slaves.
Right, yeah.
And have the boys and this and that. That just doesn't come out your DNA over the time. Now, I think we need to make better selections.
Right. And that's what this is about.
Making
better decisions and having babies with women you want to marry, having babies with people you want to spend the rest of your life with. Whether you, maybe some people don't want to get married. So I'm not against people who don't want to get married. I want to get married. People who you want to spend the rest of your life with, who you want to grow with, who you want to build with, who you want to build a family with. That's what it's about. Not to just be out here fucking.
Get a piece.
But that's corny though. And that's what I want to. That's what
So
I
when
want to
I'm
teach to the
17,
younger.
14, 15, 16, trying to get that.
That's
piece,
what
you're
the
not
Bad Dad
thinking-
podcast
you're
is
not
about.
thinking of
To
that,
teach the younger me, bro, wear a condom, bro. I know it feel good.
Or
when you ski
just
up in
leave it
that
alone
thing.
at all.
Oh, right.
Right, you saying that.
Go
but-
find a good
but my-
woman. It's
But that
good.
pressure's on you.
Not even the pressure. You know what I'm saying? Like,
It's just decision
I
making.
don't want to say what I'm about to say and make my kids feel like, you know what I'm saying, shit was an accident, mistake, or nothing like that. But my first kid came from a broken condom. You feel me? So, like,
You can do all that, but still.
yeah. You know what I mean? So like I said, you gotta keep in mind that we was young at one point as well. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it ain't cool to be in school 16, 17 and a virgin. You know what I'm saying? When we was growing
But it
up,
ain't cool to
it's
be
not.
16, 17 pregnant either.
But nowadays, they'd rather be pregnant than a virgin.
This shit crazy.
But for the dudes, it was a certain chest
Macho,
poked out. If you
macho,
got
right,
a kid, if you got a
right.
kid, you know what I'm saying?
Nigga, my shit worked, nigga.
Real talk. I
You know
didn't
what
lose
I'm
my
saying?
virginity to college.
I lost my virginity when I was 11 years old.
I had opportunities, but I was like, no.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Say, like, shit is different in this room. When did you lose your virginity?
I lost my virginity at 14 in the mix of some shit with you.
I was already fucking, and then
Right. He just came on in.
like man, for real.
like
but
tag.
that's the-
Like I was already having
And
sex
then-
in
But
advance. Like
I couldn't go into the situation and let him know that I
But
didn't know what I was doing.
What's going on?
You know what I'm saying?
I was in a
So
similar
I had to
situation
go
with the-
and
right.
I did. You know what I mean? And I don't know if you remember. It don't
I
matter.
never knew this nigga was a virgin. We was running trains. To this day, so right now on the Bad Dad podcast,
This is his first time.
I
he
never
had to know
knew.
that. He didn't know.
I broke my brother. Well, I didn't break his virginity, Paul, but we
Pause
broke
for real.
his
Pause.
virginity. We had to train. We was running trains because you know y'all ladies remember back in the day.
So now, like you said, sexually promiscuous, and then you got diseases and this and all the other stuff that's going on.
And then you got the women that they're seeing being promiscuous.
Yeah.
You know, and
Eating niggas'
like I
ass.
said,
I be eating niggas' ass, and you know what I mean?
Like I
Like-
said, they listen to the music because I'm a music person.
Right,
You know what
we
I'm
all
saying? I'm a music person. If
In the
say me
videos,
and my people's arguing and they play a certain song, I'm thinking that song is towards me. You know what I'm saying? So like that's what I'm saying. Like I'm really.
So that's the new form of engagement, like the rules of engagement, like that's the new battle, because you're like, yo, that's real talk. Because think about it, like you ever get in an argument and then you go to your girl Facebook page or Instagram page and it's a meme up there. So now I ain't think about it like that.
But that's what
she battling the songs, and they said if you ever listen to a woman when she played, that's to let you know what she's going through.
Right.
I ain't think about it like that. I'm glad you said
like
that.
When my mom used to go through it, you know what I'm saying? When my pops or whatever,
Yeah.
She used
Mary
to play Yolanda
J's
Adams.
and-
She'd play Yolanda Adams. You know what I'm saying? Or you know, any
Right.
of them old school joints. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I got you.
Yeah, his mom was nice, sweet woman. She,
But
yeah,
that,
she wasn't
but
playing no mother.
But you know what? That's his structure. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's how he brought. You know what I'm saying? And I think like you said. I just want to say something.
What?
Everything we was talking about, right? One thing I've learned: we got to take the emotion out of the decisions. Okay?
And that's another thing about the
And-
podcast. That's what we want to be, man.
How emotionally intelligent are we?
Right.
How do you manage your emotions, right? Because this niggas in jail because they got upset over something.
Because
And most
in
of us
1
don't know how to control
second,
your
5 seconds, man.
And you ready to
Like I
shoot.
pray every day. I ask God to make my temper better. Make me make better decisions, Lord.
Right.
Help me. You know what I mean? Because I know I still have a bad temper. Even though
Right.
I'm working on being a better me every day. Every day I try to work and be a better person. But
I can attest to that.
it's just a part of me that I need to get rid of.
Going back to what you were saying, as far as what's embedded in us. I was reading something, a little short story about the Willie Lynch laws and everything like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it was just basically, it's in our DNA. It's in our genes, you know what I'm saying, to be a certain way, to go against each other. As blacks, you know what I'm saying? Brown skin, light skin, it's embedded in us. Right, yeah, it's embedded in us to be that way. You know what I mean? So in the same breath, when it comes down to the teachings of our parents and our grandparents and our elders, that stuff is embedded in us, or it should be embedded in us as well.
I mean, I'm going to just keep saying it. The reason for this podcast is to do all of the above, bruh. To make us better men, better fathers, better brothers, better just people, better mentors, better
people, period.
just better everything.
examples.
I was about to say better examples for our youth, man. Like, I don't want the younger Julians to go through what Julian went through. You don't got to be fucking at 11 years old and think it's cool. And then have, knock on wood, I did not have my first child until I was 22.
I was 28.
However, I probably had about 7 abortions before I had my first kid.
So think about that, right? So let's hit pause on that, right? I'm not a social worker, and let's put this legally out here. We're not social workers. We're not lawyers. But think about that, right? The emotional trauma that's packed in that on both sides.
Bad dad. This is why.
On both sides, right? And then you're dealing with somebody else on top of, because we just keep it moving because Papa's a Rolling Stone. And so it becomes crazy how we habitually pick the same person. We pick the same type of girl.
The same type, yeah.
And women pick the same type of man.
Or they'll pick daddy figures. One thing with my daughter I did is this. I had to get my relationship better with my daughter because the type of man she gonna choose is gonna be her father. And how she see me and her mother beefing, she puts all that into her brain. The first man she dealt with is me, right? So think about it, right? My daughter is young. They like, why is you getting her diamonds and why is she going on trips and bracelets, right? So when she get older, it's nothing to her.
Right.
Because think about it. Oh, baby, let me take you on a trip. I've been to Jamaica twice. I've been to Mexico. I've been here.
You ain't about to just take me to Cleveland.
There you go.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But see, and shit like that'll backfire because it was a point in time where I showed my daughter a bank statement to where she was like, oh my goodness. And you might steal something. Why the fuck are you stealing? Your dad rich. Like, why?
But that's not you. That's her mother. That had nothing to do with you.
Hold on. Okay, this is what I want to stop you with.
Go ahead.
This is what we're not gonna do on the Bad Dad podcast. I did this enough, and that made me a bad dad. We not gonna bash the mom.
I'm not bashing the mom.
We damn near not even. I ain't gonna say bashing. That's the bad word. We're not gonna say B word.
I'm not bashing.
We're not gonna place blame.
So let me ask you a question, right? Were you the custodial parent or the non-custodial parent in that situation?
Non-custodial.
Where did she spend most of her time at?
At mom's.
So where do you think she might got most of the views from?
Words and actions.
The actions, and I'm not trying to right, because think about it, right? Oh, your mama ain't shit. Your daddy ain't shit.
But
well, you just act just like your dad.
But what about me though? Like back when I was growing up, my first child, I used to tell my daughter so much not to be like her mom that I think my daughter to this day despises me.
Probably.
Because I used to be like, I used to be
point.
like, yo, like, don't be like your mom because your mom do this and do that, and you know what I mean? And like, it was a bad decision.
So what you're saying is now that you know better, you do better.
Absolutely, and I wanna continue to do better because it's not an overnight thing. It's not because you learned it yesterday that you're gonna do it tomorrow and you're gonna continue to do it for the next 365 days. It don't work like that, bro.
I agree.
You have to have it repetitiously in your head. You have to continuously do it, and you have to want to do it.
Yeah, creating good habits.
You know what I mean? So like my goal, my initiative with the podcast and other things, I want to be a better father.
Right.
I want to be a better man.
Right.
I want to be a better mentor. I want to be a better friend, a son, a brother, a cousin, an auntie, an uncle, a nephew. You know, I want to be better. So, with me wanting to be better, I want everybody else around me to be better. You know, so when I bring people in for like special guests like you guys, like I want to learn from y'all. You know what I mean?
We learning from you too.
I was gonna say, and y'all take whatever y'all gonna get from me. Like I'm the bad dad, so like y'all really not learning from me. Y'all just gonna take it from me.
But
I know y'all learning from me.
But my dad was the bad dad, but I learned more from him. Mm-hmm. I learned what not to do. Right. Mm-hmm. So when he said, "I'm coming to pick you up," and didn't come pick me up, guess what I got to do now? When I tell my son I'm on my way, I'm on my way. Sure yeah. I'm a man of my word. Okay. I'm at the birthdays and the Christmases, and now I might get flack from. Now the crazy thing is, I had to get to the point where I control my emotions because I might not show up for a birthday because I'm pissed at the mother. I remember one birthday, I was upset because my money was messed up, right? Mm-hmm. They just wanted me to go to Walmart. Mm-hmm. They gave me the money to go to Walmart and just get a table for the party for my son, Blake. I had a fit. I'm up and down, but I'm in my emotions because my money messed up where I didn't properly plan. The mother had to come out, Anthony, what's wrong? I understand your money messed up, but your son has a party. Everybody here, just go get the thing. Now, it took a seasoned woman to able to see what was going on, but it's just how it goes. You know what I'm saying? And so, like I said, I'm upset at myself because I piss poor plan. You know what I mean? Mm. But I had to get out of my emotions because I'm missing my kids' events. Even my son, my oldest son was like, "But Dad, why don't you come to my musicals?" He said, "You can sit on one side, and my mom can sit on the other." Mm. Now, Sydney and Blake, I ain't got no problem. I'm at everything. I got a better relationship, but guess what? I'm on the paperwork too. Mm. School, the teachers know me, and we ain't got to do all that. Mm. And then, like I said, so it just becomes where you at in your emotions. And it wasn't until recently I got my emotions in check about him. Because I seen him suffering just based upon, at that age, you B-boys, you smashing at 11. He got 3-4 girlfriends. Mm-hmm. I get him married 2 weeks. Now, this is nothing. I get him married 2 weeks. He got a different girlfriend. I had to have a condom talk with him last week. No, seriously. Mm-hmm. Dog, I ain't trying to be no granddad. Mm-hmm. I said, but I learned what not to do based upon my environment.
Right. From your dad.
There.
So, to piggyback off what you said, go ahead.
So, you saying we not bashing, and sitting in front of people that I'm sitting in front of, I don't see bashers.
Right.
But I will hope that we can be truth tellers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But and we want to make sure we say the right word.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. We definitely don't. Like I said,
and it's learning. You know what I mean? It's all about learning.
But we want to be able to, like I said, take accountability
and be truthful.
And be truthful, and like you said, some stuff is just logic. You know what I mean? If she's with her mother most of the time, and her mother is the one who's rearing her for the most part, at least 6 days out the week or 3 weeks out the month, then of course her ways and actions are going to be reflective of her mother.
That's all.
So it's not bashing. Yeah. We're just being truthful.
No, I mean, and like again, like at the end of the day, like it's always gonna be an emotional episode with me because I still want to be better. So the reason why I put this thing together is because I bashed my baby mom in front of my daughter, and now my daughter is of an age, and she only called me when she wants some money.
So let me ask you a question: Have you asked your daughter directly how she felt about that? Because you might have something you have, and you know what I'm saying.
I have not, and hopefully that I'll get that courage with doing the podcast.
I respectfully challenge you.
Yeah.
I respectfully challenge you to have that conversation. Hey,
how did me talking about your mom
make you feel?
You right.
Somebody brought something to my head. They said, you don't ever know how it affects the kids because we don't never ask them.
You're right.
Somebody was like, well, you dated a lot and you a single dad. Now the funny thing is this. My boys see my lady friends, right? Mm-hmm. But guess who now? It's cool to have multiple lady friends. Right. And I'm trying to tone him down. My kids say, well, we get it from you. Yeah. Real talk, I don't mean to take it. We was in the mall, and there was a young lady. She came up to Blake, and she said hello, and he tried to play her, right? And I said, no, go up there, say hello, how you doing? He said, I'm taking relationship advice from you. And that really made me think. Like, but he did it out of respect. Mm-hmm. He did it, and he felt good, but that made me think. Man, what am I showing
How do you look at me?
And how am I seeing these boys?
Right.
And now the funny thing is, don't nobody meet my daughter. But they meet my sons, because my sons is with me.
And then I had 30 fucking girlfriends. Exactly. And they all met my daughter. And each one is playing stepmom, and we going to Disney on Ice and restaurants and out of town and swimming pools and you know what I mean? So shit like that. Like how you now I'm thinking like, damn.
Yeah.
Now I gotta go back to the drawing board to an 18-year-old daughter and ask her how did I make her feel? And not only that, like, how did me having multiple girlfriends make you feel?
Right.
You know what I mean? So now it's like...
And if anything...
And that,
go ahead, my bad.
That might be just a man thing. Or I don't know. Because when I was single, I'm moving around how I'm moving around. And my boys, I want them to see what I'm doing. So a lot of stuff that I did, especially with my two oldest, my 20-year-old and my 18-year-old, especially my 20-year-old, he was outside and everything with me. You know what I'm saying? So
he on the block.
Yeah, no,
seriously, he on the block.
Say that, but
yeah, he chilling. Everybody knowing that. I told you.
But I did that with my girls too. Like they've met other women that besides their mom, and I think that's a problem.
It is, bro.
I think that's a problem.
Like that's why when he said it made me think. It triggered me. I'm like, damn. Do you know how many girls you had around T? Like, do you like literally? I can't even count.
So it might not even been something you said. It might have been something you did.
Right.
By having all the women around that might have resented you because they wasn't her mother. Yeah. And I'm not a psychologist, so please don't call on the show talking about Brother Shepherd. No. I'm just thinking, just real talk.
It's the truth. Yeah.
It's the truth. Because I be thinking how I do, you know what I'm saying?
Like for me, right? Like I said, well, I ain't gonna say like I said. My mother and my father were together until I was like 17, and then they split up. You know what I mean?
But they did it. They tried to do it the right way.
Right.
Because your parents ain't bring up to you at 17. Like, nigga, they was trying to hold on, like,
right.
But then he got a little brother. And Tyshawn, what? Tyshawn...
5 years apart.
Yeah, so... Tyshawn, 12, like...
They probably was trying
They were trying to make it, like...
They was trying to probably break up before, and then your brother popped up, and he prolonged out. That's 3 more years.
I seen everything.
Nah, for real.
Like you said, you didn't do certain things in front of your kids. Nah, they was getting it too.
Right.
right in front of my face. So you know what I mean.
So how did that make you feel? If you don't mind me asking.
Well, I was conflicted.
Okay.
As an adult and as a kid, I see things differently.
Okay.
So as a kid, my mom a talker.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And my dad, like me, I don't really like to do all that talking and arguing and stuff like that.
Men, I ain't gonna say men, but like, men, some men don't know how to communicate.
Don't know how to argue. Don't know how to talk, argue, communicate, have a conversation, nothing. From top to bottom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when I was younger, I would be like, yo, just chill, let him go. Like, you know what I mean? But again, as an older, you know what I'm saying, as I'm older, whatever, and being in relationships and arguing and bickering with women, as a kid, I would just tell them, you go, just walk away, don't even worry about what she's saying. But I had to learn that myself. You know what I mean? And I didn't learn that till I was in my 30s.
Right.
To just be like, you know, I don't even care what you're talking about. Like, you know what I'm saying? It ain't
Block it out.
Yeah. I'm
You got out of your emotion.
And I'm still trying.
Right. Exactly. I got out of my emotions and just thought, like you said, made better decisions, thought more logically.
Can I throw this point? Somebody was hitting me when you were talking about your mother's a talker or arguing, right? Mm-hmm. Somebody hit me with, people argue because they can't talk. They said, think about this, right? They said, you got a kid, right, at school, just bad, but he can't say chalk or whatever he want or whatever the situation. Juice. He want juice, but he can't say juice, but he gonna have a fit until he get his juice, right?
Juice, right, yeah.
Same thing we do, right? I don't have the proper words to say what I'm really feeling. I don't even know how to express. So guess what? I'm about to tear some shit up. I'm about to get physical now with you or put my hands on you because I need to show my dominance. So when you said that, and then also as you get older, I had to learn to process shit differently. So your mother may needed to talk it all out and just get it all out right then and there. Your dad like, hey, give me about 10, 15 minutes, baby, whatever. And I even doing it now because I remember I was dating one girl one time. She said I didn't love her because I wasn't arguing with her. I said, hold up. Go ahead.
And that goes back to what I was saying about what's embedded in us. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, she didn't know love. She didn't know love, or she didn't know, I don't want to say affection. I don't know the word I'm looking for, but she didn't know no other way but to fight. You know what I'm saying? Good or bad, she didn't know no other way but to fight.
But guess what? Guess what it come back to? That's what she saw growing up.
Right.
Bro.
And that's what I said. That's what
you know what I mean? Like, it'd be kind of like, it's common sense. You know what I mean? Like, damn, she act like this because this is all she know.
So, you know what the funny thing is? It'd be funny. I wish we could have had like a Rubik's, you know, I would look to see how they home life was, their parent life. Do you have a single parent, two parents, or whatever?
If they got a resume.
Right, there you go, right, because
they got a resume before.
on both ends. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to be 100%, but it'll let you know. See, the problem is, even with me, I use it as an excuse. I really don't know you until I get into you. Mm-hmm. But I might not even like you once I get into you. So now that I want to cut it off and move on, now I'm a player. Okay? Or if I don't like it, now I'm older now. I don't like your energy. I don't have to put up with it.
I do not have to deal with that, sweetheart.
So
I'm not one of them men. You can keep that coochie. Like, I'm at that point now. That's how I know I'm 40 as fuck. Keep that coochie, keep that little badass attitude. Because once I tear your ass up, you're going to have an even worse attitude when I got to do what I got to do. Just go ahead, soul sister. Now I got one woman, which I want to marry. You know what I mean? Like, and shit's starting to come together.
And so, it's funny. We had a conversation when we was on the phone, when you was talking to me. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about, child support, custody, all that. But it's funny, a lot of times, we don't get all that stuff together until we get that right woman in our life where we want to get married. Now, it's a factor in your relationship. Mm-hmm. My cousin took $20,000 in her bonus because they were married. The husband had owed child support. Gone. Right, yeah, right. So I was trying to say it's different. That's what I'm trying to say. So it's funny. On one end, a woman can motivate you, and on the other end, she can piss you. You know what I'm saying?
Or she can destroy you.
And so, like they say, you got to find that balance. You know what I'm trying to say?
All freaking boils down to what we do as men, man. Because we really like the controllers, dog. Like, no matter, listen, I'm going to just be honest with you. Like, this woman that I have now, she make me look at everything differently. Because to her, I'm a whole different man. I'm not the Julian. I'm not the mayor that these other girls, they never blew me. They don't even know me. Things that I'm doing is different.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't even know this person. Like, I've never even took you on this many trips. Like, I never did this with your kids. Like, I'm not even the same person. So, like, I'm the real leader in my relationship. So, my woman, babe, we gonna do this. Unless it's sounding too fucking crazy, she gonna follow her man lead. Why? Because I show her everything that she need to see.
Something, you know how they be having these little podcasts. Something said this, when you with the different type of woman, depending upon the respect level, you'll give them a version of you that they will respect. And it might not even, you might not even be living your full life. So now you done switched up, right? Your perspectives are a little bit different, and now you can feel the room. You can live to your highest, you can, I remember a girl told me one time, I didn't know this version of you existed, but you gave me a different version of you, so now I can give you a different version of me. You know what I'm saying?
It's reciprocal.
And then, like, without her saying that, she's saying that. You know what I mean? She says, like, things that you've done for me, like, no man ever done. You know what I mean? Like,
but you want to do that, and it makes you feel good.
It makes me feel like a whole different me.
She brings it out of you. In previous situations, you wouldn't want to do that. You wouldn't even care.
I always been a player. Don't get me wrong. Like, I always been a player. I always bought stuff for my ladies. But
it's different levels.
Yeah, we always out of town. Like we going to get the finest of things.
But you happy?
Like, I'm happy. I'm so
and that's a total.
I'm monogamous. Like I ain't never been monogamous. Like. You know what I mean? Like, you my brother, nigga. You know.
You know, I know.
You know what I mean? So, like, even, like, that's how I be like, oh, this is my person. You know what I mean? Even I make it to the point to where I be like, God's not going to give me my son until I marry her. I have daughters.
Woo.
You know what I mean? So, like, it's to the point where, like,
deep.
Nah, for real.
That's deep.
So, like, this podcast is going to be deep as it goes on. This is only episode 1. And we just doing, like, the introduction of what's going on and letting y'all know what's more to come. But how I am now, by the end of this Bad Dad podcast, I want it to be called the Best Dad podcast. And we on to something else. You know what I mean? To where now people coming to us like, yo, we need your advice. Because now we coming to y'all for advice. I'm coming to y'all for advice. I'm coming to y'all for advice. You know, so when everything comes full circle, it's going to be the Best Dad podcast. And they're going to come to us for advice. You know? All right, so closing remarks, y'all.
Like I said, Darnell Wells, Nels Diner, I'm a me.
Let them know where they can follow you.
Facebook, Damario Wells. Instagram, I'm a me _ no replica.
Spell I'm a me for.
IMAMI, which stands for I'm a me, be a you. I'm one of one. I'm rare. I'm the only me.
And he got the raw hoodie on right now.
Too bad y'all can't see it.
I'm a flip the camera one time.
Flip that camera. But like I said, I'm a father, and I'm also a young black man that want to see other young black men, other young fathers be the best they can be. That's my whole goal.
Not even just black.
Thing. That's what I said.
We're going yellow, Puerto Rican, Mexican, Ukrainian, everybody.
Everybody's suffering. The world's suffering. It ain't just us no more.
But everybody's suffering, and every race, every ethnicity got a good dad. That I look, we can look to and, gain knowledge from. Because like I said, like I was telling people earlier when I went live, when I was on the radio this morning, I was telling people, like, I have to bring my guy on. He's Muslim. He has 9 daughters. You know what I mean? Like, and he lived with his daughters. He wake up to them all every day. It's just things that I'm sure we can gain knowledge from him. You know what I mean?
We can learn from the worst dad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I promise you, anybody I encounter, I'm getting something from them. I'm taking something from that.
Whether it's what to do or what not to do.
Got a story. It's funny that you mentioned that, right? Mm-hmm. So, long story, my man was telling me his dad was on drugs, right? Mm-hmm. But every month he would get his VA check, right? He was in school. So every month he paid his tuition. Every month he came, got the 3,000-4,000 to put him to school. But you would see his dad on the street. So when you're talking about a bad dad, right? You would think, oh, he ain't doing nothing for his son. He's strung out on drugs. He ain't doing, but no, little do they know, he was paying.
He panhandling to get the money for his kid tuition.
And all his checks from the VA and the war and everything was going every month to him to pay the tuition every month.
Sacrifice.
But when you say bad dad, people would consider him a bad dad, but without
stereotyping him,
without knowing the story. Oh,
right.
Bum on the street. You got anybody that's outside, bum on the street.
Right.
Ain't no way they can take care of their kids. How they take care of their kids? They can't take care of themselves. Frowned upon. You know
and
what I
so
mean?
that's what. Yeah, exactly. So when you say bad dad, it was funny. I just popped in. Like I said, my man was like, "Yeah, no, my dad wasn't the best." But every month when I needed to go to him, he said he got me through all school.
Fire.
That's what's up.
And that's what he did that for.
And
You know what I mean?
At first.
Right.
Because he could have spent all our money on all drugs.
Drugs or getting a new house, getting unhomeless, you know what I mean?
Right.
Anything.
And so that was his thing. So, yeah.
That's a dad.
Yeah.
Right, and that's
dad.
crazy. And
That's
you wouldn't
a
think of that.
dad,
You know what I'm trying to
for
say?
real.
You wouldn't even think of that. So, like I said, dad's coming on. And the one thing is, it's more, I wish we had more time because this is one of the statistics. There are more dads and actually black dads involved in their child's life than the world would like for us to see.
To believe.
Right.
And believe. And if you actually look at these bring your dad to school or special persons, it's the dads that's there. It's the dads that's showing up. It's the dads that's at the recitals. It's the dads that's at. So
Because they was.
I used to be,
a lot of times
like my
they was
daughter,
dads.
she used to be in dance class. She did ballet, tap, jazz,
I
all
remember
that.
Kensington
Listen,
and Bailey.
I used to
remember.
be, before they moved from Kensington and Bailey, they was on Jefferson, they was everywhere. Miss K, shout out to Miss K. But I was the dance dad to where in June when they had the recitals, I was on the stage. I knew the routine.
Right.
I had my own segment. They had me in the pamphlet. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like, I went from quote unquote great dad to others, but my baby mom would still dog me and be like, "Oh, you don't do this, you don't do that." You know what I mean? But I'm taking my daughter to dance class.
Can I say something? You know why that? Why? Because there was still some, I think it was still some emotion on her side, but what you was doing with everybody else, she wanted to do with you. And she wanted to do it together as a family. So I had to learn. Why are you mad at me? Well, I didn't want the family at 28. But at 45,
I do.
I'm
not even the same person.
I'm not the same
You
person.
can't be mad.
So
Shit, I ain't the same person from 40 to 41.
I'm not the same person from yesterday.
That's what I'm saying. So if I had a baby when I'm 40 and now I'm 41 and I'm like, oh, well, you know what? I'm about to get with this girl. I'm about to get married and I'm about to have another baby and this is it.
And so
I mean, I'm sorry.
changed
I had a little, but it's nothing intentional.
So she may be, and I'm saying she may be upset with you because you didn't do that with her. Only reason why I say that because
I know what it is.
That's what, you know what I'm saying?
I know what it is, but that's what again the Bad Dad podcast is about, to bring all these incidents to life and come to a result, to like bridge the gap, man. We don't want to be beefing.
And it
with
goes
these people,
back
man.
when you were saying about the dad that was homeless. It goes back to your definition of everybody had different definitions of a bad dad or what's a good dad. You know what I'm saying? That was a good story.
Yeah.
And like boom, like okay, rest in peace, my dad. Like I'm gonna give y'all a brief because it's only the first episode. I was the only child. My dad used to pay the younger boys in his neighborhood to come spend the night at my house like they was my big brothers. They don't get no more of a gooder dad than that, right? But my dad used to be gone all day because he used to be getting money. So I didn't see my dad until nighttime. You know what I mean? But I had the PlayStation, I had the Sega, I had the Nintendo 64, I had the Game Boy, I had the everything. I had my own apartment. Remember, I had my own apartment. I had my own apartment, bro. I had my own
It was
apartment,
very young,
bro.
yeah,
Like
listen,
this
it was
podcast is
young.
really gonna bring back memories, bro. Because
So that's crazy because then
I had my own apartment, bro. I wasn't even 10 years old, bro. I had my own apartment, fridge, refrigerator, stove, shower,
set out.
everything,
It was good.
game,
It was good.
TV.
And
That's why you was fucking at 11.
And not the
Hold on, look.
and not the please don't call CPS. But
Nobody came and fucking bothered us. Nobody came and bothered us. We did what we wanted to do. Had our own money, getting food, pizza, beef patties, Dr. Bird, Scotty's, steak subs, everything.
At 11.
Everything. Before 11. Because
And it's funny because you mentioned that, like you said, you don't see. It's funny because I got another man. He's like, I gotta get money. He said his thing was he never wanted to be at home. His thing wasn't to be at home and to wake you up and put you
Get
on the
some
ball.
kisses and shit, right.
He said, no, I gotta get bread. Because he said at the end of the day, all the shit
kids
is
can't eat no books.
came the month. So he said, I'm gonna go get money, whatever I need to do, if it's your 9 to 5, if you want whatever. And then it's funny, but he'll provide. His kids got more shit than, and it's funny, but he battled in between that, trying to balance family life. Then you got your hood mentality, and then you got your male mentality, and and then like he was saying, sometimes all that comes into the house where it's like I get more respect in the streets than I do at the building. You know what I'm saying? Or he said sometimes my other man said he have trouble connecting with his girl because in the streets you really can't, and in his job and in his life he really don't trust nobody.
It definitely take a special person, a special street person, to be able to separate the two. You know what I'm saying?
But you know
Not
what?
bring your work home, basically.
Yeah.
But you
You know
know
what I'm
what? It all comes from what you saw. Like what your dad did, bro. My dad hustled, bro. My dad got money. I see my dad at night. My dad came home at night. He was cheating and shit. Now that I'm older and I figured out what was going on, my dad was home every night. So it was a relationship and a point in time where I was cheating like a motherfucker. But babe, I come home every night. Fuck with them girls talking about calling your phone. I'm here every night with you.
Because that's what you saw. I wish my man was here because he would break it down. I know exactly what you're talking about, and that's what you saw, and that's what you.
Yeah, man. Tell them where they can follow you at, Shep, man.
Oh man, I'm all over the place. I don't know.
What's your Instagram?
Tony Shep NY. That's my Instagram. Facebook is Tony Shep, and that's really about it. But before I leave, got 2 words of wisdom, because I like to talk. So that's you invited the wrong person.
Oh, I already invited the right person.
You got to make sure we talked about your emotional intelligence. You got to make sure that you're present in your kid's life, however that may be. And then you just got to get yourself together. And it wasn't till I really got myself together or my thoughts together, okay? Or even going to see a counselor to help me get my thoughts together, to help me understand what it really is I'm going through. Now I'm better to my kids.
So you went to counseling?
Yeah, you know what? And the funny thing is...
See, they say black men be needing counseling because we went through our...
You know why I went to counseling?
Yeah.
I seen my frat brother go to counseling. He admitted, he made himself vulnerable. We got this thing called Brother You On My Mind. And so we have sessions like this. I said, if it's cool for a dog to go to counseling, and a dog can go to counseling, I can go to counseling. I had to go through, also, I don't have money for counseling and insurance. If you work, most jobs have EAP, Employee Assistance Program.
Right.
I went for free. Okay, most people have some form of insurance, Medicaid, whatever. If there's a will, there's a way. If you're hungry enough to do, I had to go to counseling because I was at a job and I couldn't handle the situation. So I got forced into counseling, but it forced me to talk about, so God's timing is beautiful, all this other stuff. So it helps me to be a better man and how to handle certain things. So I think in terms of getting your mental health together, in terms of just understanding who you are, helps you be a better father. Understanding your emotions help you be a better father. And finally, understanding whatever system you in. So when you say system, you might say, all right, so if you in the Erie County child support system, understand that. Okay? Because your money is going to be key. and you can't do nothing. So really understand that. But I didn't understand that until I got it, until I was forced to understand. Now I'm $6,000 in arrears. Now they done took my passport. Now they messing with my license. Now they messing with this and this and this and this. And if I would have, like you said, made these better decisions, not maybe got her upset for whatever reason. Maybe if I had a little bit more empathy of what she was going through that day, or understanding she needed to talk, I don't want to talk. That's how I remember. Oh, I remember right now. Boom. So I always say that. Think about that now, because when you get 40 or whatever, you want to get married.
And then it be some niggas be 40, have a whole new baby. And then they gotta figure everything out. Cause everything different from each kid.
That's a fact. My patience is
different, bro. It's different, bro.
Luckily, I got boys. The one that's on the way. I mean, the last.
You having
my twins,
a new one as a
I'm
boy?
having a girl. No.
Woo!
I'm having a girl. Yeah, but you know, I got 5 boys and 2 girls right now.
Okay.
So and my girls is in the middle. You know what I'm saying? So it was like the first. So this is how I got 2 child mothers and then I got a fiance.
Okay.
So one got 2 boys, one got 2 girls, and my fiance got 3 boys, and then we got a girl on the way. So the boys, like I said, they was doing whatever. The girls turn you straight. Well, you had your girls first. If I would have had girls first, I probably wouldn't have no more.
All girls.
I probably wouldn't have no boys. I promise you. If I had girls first, I probably wouldn't have no other kids.
Yo, that's real talk.
The way you deal with your daughters, the way you deal with your sons is completely different.
Night and day.
And see, that's why I want a son. Like, that's why I wanted to be, you know what I mean? Like, I wanted to be, like, one of I wanted to wake up to my son, dog. We going to do this. We going to do that. Julian Jr., we about to do this. And I just had girl after girl after girl after girl. Like,
Stop trying. God has a...
right, when I get married, that's when I have my son.
Yeah, so God has a sense of humor. Now, it's funny that you mentioned that, right? I always wanted my son first so he could take care of my daughter.
Right. That.
But I'm glad I had my daughter first because she take care of the boys.
Nurturer.
She's the nurturer, make sure they up, they this, they that. And the discipline she gets, the discipline Blake gets from her or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And it'd be so funny, but I'm glad that I had my daughter first just because, like I said, when I was little, she's a help. Hey, can you watch your brother? Can you pick him up? Can you drop? And even now, like, hey, I need you to watch them on Saturday. But it was the other way around. Like you said, boys is more, you more hard on your boys. And also...
they're less responsible.
And I also had to learn how I had to talk to my daughter.
Right, yeah.
Because what I say to her carries way more weight than anybody. She damn near cried and broke down because I was aggressive with, and her mother said, you got to understand, she loves you, and she listened to me more than the mother. Because the mother, when it get push come to shove, hey, can you talk to Sydney real quick? Can you just go ahead and do
My
this?
daughter used to be like terrified. You know what I mean? Like, it was a point in time, and this is going to be on another episode. That's why we about to get out of here, because we can go forever. No. Man, it used to be a point in time, my baby mother, my oldest baby mother, she used to call me, can you come get your fucking daughter? I can't stand her. By the time I get over there to go get my daughter and my baby mother come get in the car for whatever the fuck reason, me and her get into it, and guess who don't come? My daughter.
Right.
Because now it's like I'm still her friend. And it's like, I didn't even want to talk to you. I just wanted to come get my fucking daughter
Don't work like
and
that.
be out, bro.
Because they still got emotion on whatever the situation may be. It don't work like that. But I had to learn that.
But if I would have just got my daughter, we just would have been out. And we would have been good.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, like, just everything. It's a learning experience, man. It's crazy. And first episode, man. First episode in the books, man. Big thanks to Shep. Look at Shep. I'm trying to show him on a little joint. This joint, little raggedy joint. Oh, all right. Where you at? Can you see you?
His sweatshirt.
Can you see you? Yeah, show him your sweatshirt, man.
No
Come on, man. No replica. I'm a me.
Be a you. Be original. No following.
You feel me? And if you gonna be a follower, man, follow the good dads. Yeah, the good dads, man. Because that's what I want to be. Great father.
Oh, we've been on here for about an hour. Wow,
Yeah,
that's
man.
crazy.
Bad Dad Podcast. First episode, man. God bless. I thank y'all for watching, man. Share. It'll be on Spotify, Apple Music, everything like that. Once they edit it, it will be publicly syndicated. And we out.